Finley, I guess. He was pretty good, I guess.
We're back. We're back, and it has never been so good to be back. The Bears, they beat the demons. They exercised the demons, man. They just unbelievable. I really
this shit means something to me, man.
This shit means something to me, man. Oh my god.
Can't believe it's my life. That's been the mood for the last 55 hours, however long it's been. Just euphoria. Call it our Super Bowl. Call it whatever you want it. The MF and Chicago Bears are back, and they're just getting started, okay? Yeah, I mean, we got a fun episode today, by the way.
We have a very fun episode. So this episode's gonna be a little different than usual. We're gonna have our very first guest that we've had on the show in a bit. Graham and I will do it. We got to talk a little bit before we have our guest on about this game.
Oh yeah,
not too long, 5-10 minutes. We'll have our guest on. We'll tell you who he is in just a sec. And then we'll go more into depth into the actual game after that is
all
over.
The emotions, all the feelings.
Yeah, I imagine this is going to be a long episode, so buckle in, enjoy it,
make some popcorn, get a drink.
If by some grace of God you have not seen what happened this weekend, I don't know where you've been or what you've been doing, but the Bears had their first playoff win in 15 years. The greatest game of my lifetime, the best win I've ever seen this team have, and
maybe in a vacuum.
In a vacuum, yes. And like we were saying this 3 weeks ago when they did it to the Packers at home in the regular season. Packers fans wanted the whole, you beat our backup quarterback, congratulations, like all this bullshit, all that talk, all of it. They said they wanted the Bears. They said they wanted them in the playoffs. They wanted it. They got it. Per Caleb Williams. They wanted it. They got it.
Hey, you can't always get what you want. Sometimes you do.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I remember a few weeks ago, I think it was after the Browns game when Caleb was getting asked. I think it was the same interview where they were asking if it was an ill-advised throw, and he was like, "No, I can make any throw," which he's backed up so many times since then. But I think in that same interview, he got asked, there's a lot of talk about this being a team of destiny. Like, what do you think about that? And he said the cool thing about destiny is you got to get to the end to find out. And
what a quote.
What a quote. I mean, Jalen Hurts drops some bars and like they're a little tacky, but like
corny.
Caleb Williams when I mean he cooks. He cooks when he gets up there.
He cooks. It's not premeditated. Jalen's reading out of some freaking Shel Silverstein, Roald Dahl the night before, and he's bookmarking quotes on Etsy and stuff. And it's like, okay, dude, good for you. Just because the plant isn't wet doesn't mean we're not watering it. Like, bro, okay, whatever. So like Caleb, it's off the dome.
Off the dome. Different. It just it's amazing. And he backs it up. Jalen Hurts, he has a Super Bowl, so like he could talk a little bit. But I mean, that was a really good team, and like he wasn't doing the stuff Caleb Williams was doing. There are countless records that were broken. Just the story of this season. There's so much that led up to this.
Six other comeback wins.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just insane. In a season where Virginia McCaskey passed over the summer, and they're wearing the patches to honor her, the uniform combos, and then to go into the playoff game and go against what Virginia, like what I don't know if it was her last request, but like the way they were honoring her was to wear blue jersey, white pants at home, white jersey, blue pants away. Virginia said if she could have it anyway, she'd do it like that every time the Bears played. And then you go on Sunday, and 3 hours before the game, they don't even announce it, but the media team posts a picture of the equipment pregame, and you just see like a real zoomed in picture of the pants, and everyone's like they're wearing blue. They're wearing blue pants on the blue jerseys. a uniform
Kyle
combo.
Long seemed to like it.
He did. I tweeted at Kyle Long asking what he thought about the combo. Got a quote tweet. He said it was some of his favorites, which they are some of my favorites now. But that uniform combo, they were 0-6 in all time. They had never won while wearing them, and they were 0-4 wearing them against the Packers.
Yep.
And you were like, we're in the biggest game of our franchise's history in the last 15 years. We're gonna wear them. And then we're going to go out and we're going to win in one of the most miraculous ways I've ever seen. I mean,
we never beat the Packers. We never win in those uniforms. We never win on Sunday night. We never win in the playoffs. The only conclusion is we just can't be the same Bears. Like, the only conclusion is that's the old team. This is the new chapter. From here on out, we're writing our own story. I mean, it's just the best. It's just simply the best.
I'm really excited to get into detail on everything, and I don't want to leave anything out. But we'll start with a little, I guess, pregame stuff, hype going into it.
Yep.
The Packers team was talking a lot going into this game. Josh Jacobs had a comment about Austin Booker's hit on Jordan Love, which knocked him out of the game in the second matchup in Chicago where the Bears won, saying that they took it personally, that they're not going to play dirty, but like they're going to have his back, which they did not back up at all. There was a little. It was
Keyshawn Nixon made a nice hit.
It was chippy pregame.
Do you remember that when he got the 15-yard penalty for jumping on the pile for no reason?
Yeah.
Thanks, 25.
Yeah, Christian Watson was talking about, we get the chance to end their season, and that means something to us.
Ooh, wait a minute. Did he realize that it applies to them too? Because,
yeah, they were talking about how they wanted the Bears, and they got exactly what they wanted, man. They really thought that they were. I just don't understand how you talk all that talk and you lose after you lose the way you do in the second game, and you like scratched out a victory in the first matchup. Credit to them, they won that game, but you can't do that and then go out and blow an 18-point lead in the wild card round of the playoffs. What an absolute joke. What an absolute choke. I think Jordan Love falls to 1-3 in the playoffs in his career. I don't know if he has a playoff win on the road. Actually, he does. He does at Dallas, which I think was his first.
I think he's 1-2 because they lost to the 49ers. Or I guess, no, they lost after they beat Dallas. I forgot about that year.
So, yeah, it's just this team sucks.
Lost the Eagles, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I mean, they wouldn't have even made the playoffs the last 3 years if the NFL didn't expand to 7 seed. They're sitting at home right now with, I guess, a 9-8-1 if you count the playoffs, or 9. Yeah, right. So they were as close as you can be above 500 without being 500. So I guess, congrats on that. They got their coach and they got their quarterback, but ours are better. Ours are younger. Ours are cooler. Ours have more aura. Ours have better arm. Ours are better in the fourth quarter. Like, it's just, if you're a Bears fan, you've spent the last 20 years of your life not being able to really stand on anything with this team. You could talk, it's a good rivalry. It's fun to talk shit. But when it came to the games, you probably didn't want the smoke, and for good reason. The Packers took it to us time and time again. Aaron Rodgers, his old ass, comes into our stadium and I still own you, all this shit. Chris Conti blows a coverage on, what was it? I forget. What was the down and distance on that one? It was 4th and 8.
That was 4th and 8.
4th and 8. Interesting.
I have
it's our time, man. It's our time to talk, and we're going to talk.
I have some unfortunate news that just came through to my phone.
Are we losing Mr. Hayes?
Our supposed guest, who was supposed to be on here, TJ Hayes, old friend of ours, renowned Packers fan, who is supposed to be joining us on this episode, just said he's not joining anymore.
Come on, Tej. Come on, TJ.
That is, you know what? That is the exact behavior I would expect from a Packers fan after this game. Run and hide, TJ. You can't escape this. Everywhere you look, you're gonna have to watch Caleb Williams crawling back from down 18, down 15 in the fourth, down 11 with less than 4 minutes left.
Oh wait, he's calling me.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
Oh, just kidding. I was gonna pull that one on him, but we'll use it now.
I'm genuinely that. I don't know if this was part of his plan as some sort of get back to us Bears fans, to just get us excited to rip on him and then just leave. TJ, if you're watching this, it's just cowardice. That is a cowardice move.
That's classless.
That is classless. That's what that is. It is absolutely classless. Shame on you, TJ. I was so excited. I was
prepared a lot of shit.
We had a lot of stuff prepared. And now we don't get to use it.
You know what? If we ever get the opportunity to go on the intern pod, we will actually show up, because we are Chicago Bears fans with integrity. This shit means something to us. Our word actually freaking matters. And you know what, TJ? I'm glad that you're ducking it now, because it's going to be happening for years to come. You can't run from it forever. You can run from it now. You can't hide, brother. It's coming, man. I mean, wait, I actually do have something I wanted to play, because Instagram user what's his name?
This is
Jared Pillsbury Watson. He put it very eloquently.
It's the best video that has come out of the Bears Packers game.
And for the viewers at home,
the Chicago Bears came back and kicked them Packers in they pussy.
Yes, sir. Yes, they did. And so I found that account through I don't know who saw it first, but that was the first time I've seen his account after that win. And what a way to find an account. I mean, that's got to be one of my favorite accounts on Instagram of all time. He literally says that for every single game, kind of similar to James Droz, who's the what happened guy. But yeah, what a clip.
I am so in absolute disbelief that TJ just Snapchat. I have been Snapchatting him. I reached out to him yesterday saying he snapped me after the game. Reaching out. I actually don't have exactly what he said, but whatever. I had reached out to him asking if he wanted to hop on the episode. It'd be a good time, talk the game. Couldn't record yesterday because I had to work late. So I was like, okay, we'll record tomorrow. How does that work? And he's like, all right, anytime after 4 p.m. your time. I was like, bet, that's perfect. We record at 6. It's 4 p.m. He's in Arizona. So it worked out great. So he's all about good looks. See you later. We still looking good for 4. I said, yeah. Graham and I are gonna record 15:30. I'll send you over an invite. You can hop in. He said, bet I'm gonna rip a Madden game then real quick. He goes, dude, I low-key can't join anymore. I got to pick up my girl from work, and we're going to get some food. Sorry, Brody.
Come on, Tej. Hopefully we can find another time to record. Maybe we can get a statement from him. But yeah, I mean, hey, I wasn't gonna go easy on him. We were gonna give him every bit of our wrath, every bit of our, pent up hate. But now, we're just going to slander the Packers name even more, as it deserves to be, because these clowns don't know how to lose. They haven't had to lose, and they're going to, like we've been saying all episode, have to get used to it. And yeah, I guess we got to start teaching them. I don't know.
Yeah, realistically, he's probably not lying. He probably does have to go.
No, he is. He's good. He's good.
But it really does read as running from it. And as Bears fans, we have done the furthest thing from run from losses. We embrace this team. When the Bears went 3-14, in 2021 with Justin Fields when he ran for 1,200 yards, that was one of the most fun Bears seasons we had to that point in our lifetimes.
It's true.
Like Justin
Fields,
not
even a joke.
I'm dead serious. He ran for like a 60. I think it was actually a 67-yard touchdown against the Lions. Like a 61-yard touchdown against the Dolphins, a 54-yard touchdown against the Packers. Like those games were fun, and you had to enjoy. You had to enjoy losing. Like regardless, like you just had to love your team and like enjoy watching them play on Sundays, regardless of the outcome, and recognize what guys are going to be there in the future and what parts at the very least will be there when the team maybe gets better, because that was the reality. Was we didn't know that it was going to get better. You had hope. You were looking at tankathons and mock drafts 4 weeks into the season because you'd start winless. You wouldn't win until October, and when you did, it was like, congrats, you're 1-4.
Yep.
If you're a Packers fan who has their entire life, now playoff losses.
I think they've had 2 losing seasons since we've been fans.
Yeah, if you're a Packers fan and you want to like act all righteous because your team has a good history of quarterbacks and then all of a sudden shit flips in your head and you start dodging the Bears fans, dodging what the reality is in that Caleb Williams is coming for the division for years to come. That's shameful. That's shameful. And I think Packers fans really soon are going to find out what it was like to be a Bears fan for the last 15 years.
We do have breaking news. TJ Hayes said that he'd do 10 minutes in his car when he parks. And he did say, and that not only did he said that, but he said trust. So
he said trust.
If you know TJ, that's as good as you'll get from him. I mean, that's basically a promise. So hopefully he follows through on that. I'll tell him to let me know. But yeah, hopefully we'll get at least 10 minutes out of him. But
okay,
I guess we'll jump ahead a little bit.
He's obviously not dodging. He's not lying. But he's not the only Packers fan to behave like this. I speak in a general sense. I do love TJ.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'm very excited to have him on.
He's TJ Hayes. He's going to be a big name in the sports community one day. A lot of people are calling him the white Stephen A. Smith. He's really good at what he does. I literally wrote, I swear to God, I wrote in my notes for this week because our dear friend Miguel Luna kind of had mentioned this in our group chat. But I wrote the question out of all the announcers, who's most likely to Freudian slip Charlie Kirk instead of Christian Kirk, and it happened like 8 hours after I wrote that question, which is just like, can't even write this stuff. Too good. Shout out Stephen A.
That's right. An all-timer. That's an all-timer.
It's an all-timer, but at the same time, it raises a good question. Was he actually wrong? Because, in a lot of ways, we are Charlie Kirk. Exactly. So, I think he was really just making everyone more aware of that sentiment. So good for Stephen A. But yeah, basically we want this episode in a sense to be kind of a video version of a victory cigar, so we can kind of use this as a time capsule, come back, relive the memories of this game, go through it in detail, relive the emotions. I don't know if you had any idea where this was going, because we kind of thought we had TJ on the time. But I have like all the plays, or a lot of the plays that stood out to me written down if we want to go through those eventually.
Yeah, for sure. I think as much as I had a lot of trouble like coming up with how I wanted this episode to go, mainly because I just never in a million years really thought that's
true.
We'd have the when when they won, my boss, who's a Packers fan, texted me like, let it rip, bury me. And I just like didn't know what to say. I just told him like a lot of Bears posts on the way, which is like, you know, good worker. I'm a good worker from my part. And my plan is to just like spam nothing but Chicago Bears Droz from the Barstool gambling page, and milk this for 9 months until the Bears play the Packers again. But I really like, I don't know. Look, I've never taken a victory lap before, not with this team.
Nope.
And even when they won 2 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, whatever, against Green Bay, and it was versus Malik Willis, like it didn't really feel right just yet to take the victory lap, because there was a really real chance that we'd be playing them again, and you hadn't even like clinched your division yet, let alone found out like how good of a football team you really are. But to do it now in the way that you did, we have nothing but victory laps to run. And I still like, I'm almost too happy to be petty in a sense.
Agreed. Yeah. No, agreed.
Today was like the first day where I really was like letting a Packers fan hear it. We have one guy at the office who's a big Packers fan, and he was just sitting upstairs amongst a bunch of Bears fans talking about like how Caleb Williams is ass. And I was like, you're exactly where we were 10 years ago when Aaron Rodgers like was just shitting on the Bears, and we refused to believe that he was actually good. And then at a certain point, you just have to accept that they're great. And I think that's where a lot of Packers fans are. The guy who's going to be joining us for a bit certainly is one of those. He still is not a firm believer in Caleb Williams. And, you know, there are reasons to not believe, I suppose, some accuracy issues. And you could definitely argue that this style of play, at least the style of winning, is not sustainable, because you cannot come out and put up 3 points in the first half and expect to drop 25 in the fourth quarter every game. That will not happen. Now, he is undeniably clutch in the fourth quarter. What I don't understand from people who think that way about the Bears and about Caleb Williams is why they don't think that he can put that together for more than 4 quarters. Because there are 2 games this year where he has, and it was the Cowboys game and it was the Browns game, where he played 4 quarters of good football and they won that game handedly. Now he hasn't done that in every game, but when it comes down to it and you're trailing and you need to win, he's done it 7 times this season, in a
out of 9 opportunities.
Out of 9 opportunities to even do it while trailing. Well, I guess
we've
lost a handful of games. So
yeah, but in terms of having the ball in your hands with a chance to go down, score, and win the game, 7 for 9. The other 2, he got to the goal line and then it didn't work out. But like, that's pretty damn good. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I worry a bit next year about what, as far as like how I'm gonna approach next season. I hate that I'm thinking, you know what, I'm gonna table this conversation, because it's not time to think about next season yet.
It's not.
There will be a time for that, and ideally that time is approximately 4.5 weeks from now. That'd be nice.
We're thinking about football in 2026, but we're thinking about February. We're not thinking about September.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think, I'm not sure how much time we have before TJ joins. It seems like he's just driving and he's going to join whenever he can. And he'll just pop up in here whenever he comes in. So we'll dive a little bit into the game. Honestly, I think before we do that, maybe we can talk a little bit about what our pregame predictions were for this game. I feel like I want to do a little, got to do a little victory lap as far as my predictions go.
Sure.
We spent now last week when we recorded, I was having a bad week. I didn't run a record and I was upset. And I think if you want, you can probably watch that back, and I'm just like upset the whole time because we're arguing about DeAndre Swift and whether or not he's a good value and whether or not Ben Johnson is going to go into his bag of tricks. Ben Johnson did go into his bag of tricks. I told you that man is
I didn't say he wasn't going to. I just said I wasn't sure if I wanted him to.
I guess. But you also did think that, like, Why would he?
I didn't think that he was.
Why would he not have used them in the regular season?
No, my point was I didn't think he was hiding anything against the Lions because people were saying that. But we don't need to. We don't need to rehash it.
Yes. However, my take was that he was going to go into his bag of tricks, and they did that from the very first play with a fake reverse in the kickoff.
Fake reverse. Yep.
And then there was a play where Cole Kmet was going to throw a pass. It looked similar to what they did last year versus Commanders when he was with the Lions. Thank God Cole Kmet did not throw the football because it was a very small gap that a tight end would probably not fit a ball into.
Yeah.
And there were a couple others that I don't really remember.
They ran a lot of stuff with like weird personnel groups in the backfield. Like Loveland and Burden were in the backfield for a play. They ran just like some weird formation stuff, I guess. To be honest, like, they ran the like inside reverse to Burden that got blown up. Like
yes, yeah.
They were running to the right. Caleb inside handoff to Burden and got blown up. To be honest, like none of it worked.
They weren't very effective. They were not, but they're there.
He was in his bag.
And I think there is more. And I think as the stakes get bigger, I think we'll start to see them be pulled out in situations where he thinks they can be effective. I like us again at some point to pull that out. Only if we have a lead in the first half at any point, I think we'll start to go for them. Now, if that happens, that's a big question because this is a formidable opponent with a very good offense that's coming to Chicago. So we'll see if we even get the opportunity.
I think this is the time to go to your bag. I think against the Rams, where it's like you're gonna need to score. I mean, like if like I told you, if I could, show you the final score of the game, and I always was only going to reveal the Bears score, and I showed you 35 points, would you be that confident that we win that game?
No,
right? Like so,
not.
So like that's fucked. So like I think, the reason you go for trick plays, at least from maybe a little bit of a more old school mindset, but at least from where my mind comes from, is like if you don't really think that you can just go out there and like beat the other team with your offense, then maybe you go to your bag of tricks. But, for this game, like I don't necessarily think that we don't have confidence in our offense working. It's just that we need to have it work every single drive. And you need to have something up your sleeve to be able to shock them, to be able to, pull a rabbit out of your hat and score a 70-yard touchdown when you really, really need it. So I think this is a pretty good opportunity to run some trick plays. I think last week I wasn't super thrilled when they were coming out, but if they would have worked, I would have been fine with it. So, it's one of those situations. Yeah.
I agree. I think if the opportunity presents itself, go for it. You have a finite amount of football left this season, and you really don't know if you're going to have the opportunity to use them in the week after. There's no point in saving it for next year. You can drop a bunch of stuff in the offseason if you like.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I love Cole Kmet throwing passes when Justin Fields is my quarterback and maybe when Mitch is my quarterback, but I want to see 18. I don't know how many more times I'm going to see Caleb throw the ball. Hopefully it's thousands and thousands and thousands, but I don't want it to be any less number than what it could be. So let the boys sling it,
That is true. Another thing I harped on before the game was Ben Johnson's aggressiveness on fourth down, that was
huge.
Huge storyline in the game.
He was like, to use a poker term, it seemed like he was a little bit on tilt at some points. And I don't think it was unexcused. I thought I agreed with all of them. Like when you were about to go for them, I was like, let's go.
So I'm in the same boat. I 100% agree. You go for it, regardless.
Did you see his post-game quote about it? Or maybe it was yesterday's quote about it?
No.
They asked him about it in the press conference. Because basically the way he put it is exactly how I thought. But I'll get to that in a second.
I think he talked about it being the same as like a punt or a turnover at the end of the day.
Basically, so what he was saying, he got asked if like he was going for it because he doesn't have confidence in the defense. And he said, No, it's actually because I do have confidence in the defense, because that's kind of where I was coming from, where it's like, dude, if we give the Packers on the 10-yard, if we give them the ball on the 10-yard line like we've been doing, they're getting to the red zone with ease. They're moving the ball on us with ease. They're doing it all day. They've done it in pretty much all 3 games that we've played against them, no matter who was playing quarterback. Where they've struggled has been the red zone, and where they've struggled has been turning, field goal possessions into touchdowns. So if you can give them the ball at the 40-yard line, where they are at your 40-yard line, they only have 40 yards to drive. It weirdly is advantageous towards yourself, because rather than losing 10 minutes of clock for them to get, 3 or 7 points, you're only losing 3 minutes of clock for them to get 3 or 7 points. You're putting your defense in a situation to not be as tired, because they'll have to.
Well, you froze there for a second, Smalley, but the message is getting across.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm on the same page. Strategically, if they were going to get to, you can't think about it as you're basically giving them a free scoring possession. It's more so like, were they going to get to the 32-yard line, which is where you went for it from? If you punt the ball, are they going to get back to the 32-yard line where you punted from? And early in the game, the answer was yes. So why are you punting? Go for it. And on the early one, which I think was 4th and 4, 4th and 5, they called up there was a 4th and 7 that the Bears converted, which from about the 40s,
that was crazy,
40 something or so yard line.
That one was the craziest one to go for. Yeah, that was awesome.
And then there was the 4th and 4 later from their own 32, which they didn't get, and then everyone started to wonder whether Ben Johnson was being too aggressive or he's on tilt.
Was that the one that got batted?
That was when that was batted at the line, which looked very similar to the play against the Commanders earlier in the season, where Olamide Zaccheaus dropped it on an underneath, and had he caught it, he had 90 yards of green grass to go run at. It looked very similar. And had Luther Burden caught that ball, I mean, he's the quickest dude on that field. It'd have been a huge play. It'd have been a huge play.
At least the first down.
Yes, and no one would have thought anything about Ben Johnson's decision making there. He said it
in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. In the Week 18 game versus Detroit, he didn't go for it on 4th and 5 really late in the game, which would have given Detroit the ball in scoring territory. And he, the camera cuts to him, and some lip readers out there caught him saying, "I should have gone for it." And he lived up to his word this week against the Packers. The only thing I don't like about those 4th down plays was the 4th and 1 in the red zone, where they ran like a bootleg with Caleb, ended up throwing a pick on it. DJ Moore slipped on his route. It looked like it might have been intended to go to him. But even we've got someone.
Here we go. Here we go, boys.
Who seems to be living the Packers' glory day through a hat on his head. We're gonna add him to a stage, ladies and gentlemen.
The one, the
only, TJ Hayes,
the man, the myth, the motherfucking legend. How's it going, TJ?
What up, TJ? Long time no see, TJ. We're doing great, man. We are doing.
TJ, I'm doing really good.
Great. I'm glad. You guys should enjoy it, because it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's fair. It's fair.
It absolutely has been.
TJ, I did have a quick question for you, if you don't mind. Is that cool?
Yeah, shoot away.
You're an open book, right? Because I mean, not to ask you too complicated of a question or anything, but
what happened? Yeah, dude, I love James. I love James Droz.
Shout out.
It's just really a compilation of a lot of things. I mean, special teams, once again, being just our biggest Achilles heel in every playoff game ever. Our offensive line couldn't block a soul in pass pro, run blocking in the second half. And then Matt LaFleur's conservative play calling when Jordan Love is just absolutely whipping you guys. And for some reason, he just wants to run inside zone and get 0 yards on first down every single new set of downs. But really what it comes down to, obviously the injuries caught up to us. I don't want that to ever be the reason why we lost. When people say, "Oh, it's the refs," or "Oh, we had injuries," it's like, yeah, everyone deals with that. But
It's true. No, it's fair.
At the end of the day, I mean, since that week 15 game against Denver, man, I mean, it has been a month of hell. It's been a month of hell. And, I know you guys have been dealing with hell for a long, long time. So I'm glad, now you got some success. But let me tell you this. This Bears team reminds me a lot of a team last year. You know which team I'm talking about?
The team that had Dan Quinn as their head coach. You think Dan Quinn is worthy bringing up in the same conversation as Ben Johnson, brother?
No, but I don't think Caleb Williams is deserving to be in the same conversation as Jaden Daniels. I'll be honest with you.
Okay,
I like it. I like it.
Really quick. TJ, how long do we got you for? Because there's some stuff that I'd like to prioritize.
Like 10, 15.
All right, perfect. Yeah. So first off, if you guys aren't already, go follow TJ on Twitter. Now he's a Packers fan, but he posts about the NFL, posts some good bets. You posted a Packers post-game reaction video, to which most of the stuff very similar to what you just told us. I agreed with.
Very reasonable for the first 6 or so minutes.
Very reasonable for the first 6 minutes, but about the last minute and a half.
Come on, Tej.
This guy starts talking on my quarterback, and you know what you sounded like? You sounded like Bears fans about 10, 15 years ago. Some guys who got beat down, bruised and battered by Aaron Rodgers. And there were a lot of people in Chicago who refused to believe what they were watching. And that was greatness. I'm not afraid to admit it. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best to ever do it. But Caleb Williams he's pacing.
I mean, I see where you're going with that, and I, could see with never having a 4,000-yard passer ever in your entire 100+ year history, without ever having an actual franchise quarterback ever in your entire franchise history. Like, yeah, I get why you guys are so excited. But at the end of the day, okay, yes, he is able to make any throw. He has all the talent in the world. There's a big, big deal, though, that I look at and I'm like, listen, his mechanics are not where they need to be. And I don't know if it's an ego problem or if it's he still needs to be coached up by Ben Johnson problem. I don't know, but the easy layups that Caleb Williams misses, the franticness that, yes, sometimes gets some great plays. That 4th and 8 to Roma Dunze, that was like probably the greatest play in his pro career. And he made it when they were down 11, 4th and 8, everything on the line. But then you see some of these other plays where it's like, what are you doing? Like, how are you missing this throw? And a stat that speaks directly to that is his completion percentage. Everything on the Bears offense got better this year, and Caleb Williams got worse.
Hold on.
Worse.
His completion percentage got worse. Now you look at every other Caleb Williams stat. You look at his deep ball percentage. You look at his pressure to sack ratio. You look at his touchdowns. You look at his touchdown interception ratio. Look at his rushing efficiency. All of that is better. Except for his completion percentage. You're looking at a guy whose wide receiver core leads the league in drops. You're looking at a quarterback.
I'm familiar to that party.
I know. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I'm not slandering Jordan Love's name because while you guys have had your seasons with drops, Jordan Love remains an efficient quarterback. But for a second-year guy, some people would argue Jordan Love's only a second-year guy. But for a second-year guy who's dealing with some issues that obviously are going to hurt his completion percentage, for that to be the only thing that is down in a year where every other stat is up, including wins, I'm not so worried about that. I think it's very reminiscent of year 2 Josh Allen, who did not win games like Caleb Williams did.
Sure. Okay. Well, listen, he
also takes no sacks and throws the ball away.
Is it not like you hired Ben Johnson, right? Mm-hmm. Ben Johnson is one of the best play callers, play designers in the NFL. Who did Caleb Williams have as his offensive coordinator and play caller last year? Shane Waldron?
Couple guys.
Shane Waldron, like Eberflus and Thomas Brown for a little bit.
So would you not agree that the offense, yes, albeit in his first season in it, should provide more open like, receivers by not just,
It did.
a hair, but maybe 5 or so, 6 or so, 7 or so yards, like a Kevin O'Connell does with Justin Jefferson, who is literally one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. And he sometimes doesn't have anybody within 10 yards around him. And it's like, that just speaks to how great Kevin O'Connell is.
It's true.
Why does the completion percentage get worse then? He has a better play caller, a better roster. The offensive line got better. The weapons.
I think we're going to say the same thing, Valenzano, but
it's because he's opting to throw the ball away outside of taking sacks. And I think
and
now I agree. Now, hold on. Now, you would like to. I completely get where you're coming from. You would like to see Caleb in a scheme that is very favorable to quarterbacks to hit those open guys. I think that the completion percentage being down is not an issue of accuracy. I think he's been far more on target this year than he was last. You saw a lot of missed throws last year, especially on the deep balls. I think it's a tendency of like big game hunting, and still the refusal to play a sort of like a down quarterback, take your yards, Tom Brady type football, where you just you take what the defense gives you.
He loves to act like Tom Brady on the sideline. He loves to act like Tom Brady on the sideline. Yet, what has he won?
And in the fourth quarter.
What has he won? What has he won?
He
TJ,
won
you know what he
won.
won.
Okay. Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with a lot of things. I mean, that's fine. I'll give you guys your props. You guys deserve to be the division winners. You deserve to have won that game. That's point blank. But I just don't see how, unless he improves, okay, this offense will regress to a degree next year. And the defense is where I've got the biggest questions.
So I agree with you on the fact that the defense there is obviously questionable. I don't agree that this defense is going to regress next year, because I can't imagine that this is not a problem that is not addressed in the offseason.
Max Crosby might not bring in a single offensive player.
Oh my God, here we go.
Max Crosby will not be a Las Vegas Raider next season. You know who needs pass catchers? The Las Vegas Raiders. You know who needs to dump DJ Moore's contract? The Chicago Bears. You know who Fernando Mendoza would love to pass to? DJ Moore.
It's true.
You send DJ, you send a couple picks.
You make a
over
great
to Las
case.
Vegas for Max Crosby.
You make a great case. You do. You do. Hey, you know what? I was told, the Packers, right? Because we went all in on Micah by some other friends. They were like, you guys went all in on Micah and it failed. And I'm like, it failed what? Take. Because Micah sucked at playing football? No, he didn't suck at playing football. He caught literally a terrible injury, right? Something that is by fluke more times than not. And that plummeted a lot of our stock, right? Because even with Micah, we still had a lot of injuries we were dealing with, but that just really ripped the soul out of this team. So what happens when you guys get Max Crosby? And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but he is older, okay? He has had some injuries here and there, but relatively healthy his entire career. What happens when you guys go all in on a Max Crosby? Multiple first-round picks. I know you said you want to include DJ Moore, but I'd start at 2 first-round picks at least for Max Crosby. Even at his
They're not going to be very good first-round picks, first of all.
I'll say this. We'll find out. All right. That's
on an ACL injury, bro.
That's the name of the game. Now, the difference between the Bears going in on Max Crosby and the difference between the Packers going in on Micah Parsons is we're not paying a choke artist $55 million a year.
Yep. Sorry, bro.
All right. Well, if you want to call him a choke artist, that is your opinion. You're entitled to that. Just like I'm entitled to my opinion on Caleb. I don't paint my fingernails like some say they might because their quarterback does so. And,
I'll paint my nails if we win Super Bowl, TJ.
I have not surrendered my soul to the Caleb Williams ness. Okay. But what I will say is that my quarterback, okay, the choke artist, right? He was about that close away from having 5 touchdowns.
He was.
And literally making one of the greatest throws
I've seen him ever make.
Almost
counted, TJ. If only almost counted.
No, yeah, just like here's the double doink, just like, TJ, when you guys got Khalil Mack and you're whooping our ass at halftime and Raj off a perk comes back. I know.
Actually, no, so yeah, I love that you bring him up because, TJ, if Aaron Rodgers had picked up that ball after fumbling it on the last play of the game, my heart would have fell to the floor. I would have barely been able to watch this game. But TJ, when Jordan Love picked up that ball, I felt zero, and I tell you, zero fear in my soul.
I think that just
Zero
speaks a little
fear.
bit to the bear delusion, though. Like, because like you said, you know, with the Rodgers.
Whoa, TJ's underwater. TJ's underwater. Holy shit.
Yeah, we're just. Yeah, your audio's just your audio's bugging out right now.
You know sign language,
but it's all good.
Here, one sec. Give me one sec.
We battle through technical difficulties all the time. But we power through, and that's what we do. Especially, I mean, luckily it's not a live show. But
true.
We treat it like one. We treat it like one because we don't feel like editing.
That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's the other reason why.
TJ, are you still with us? Is he coming back?
I believe he's snapping me. No, not him. I hope he comes back because I do want to thank him for coming on. I thought when he first said he wasn't going to, that he was just sort of, kind of like a draft dodger. Pulling a Jordan Love. He wasn't showing up right at the biggest moments.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I appreciate it, him coming on and doing this like a champ.
Like a champ.
Yeah, no. He's not doing it like a, not like an NFC. Oh, he's back.
Oh no. Still horrible.
What's happening, bro? My phone's literally dying. This is a representation
You're good.
of the Packers
TJ.
season, man. It was going good until it wasn't.
TJ, can you hear us?
I hear a lot of buzzing, and I can't, you guys are like coming and going. You know what I mean?
It's okay.
Very laggy. So I don't know what's going
Okay.
We want to extend our sincerest thank you.
Yeah, no, for real. It seems like we might have to cut it short because you're having technical difficulties, but I genuinely do. We appreciate you coming on here. And if you can't hear us now, you can watch it back later and hear us properly. But to come on here after a loss like that, we appreciate it. Thought you might be dodging us a little bit when you first said you couldn't, but it means a lot. You took it like a champ. Not an NFC North champ, but you took it like a champ.
Ooh,
so the rivalry is very much alive. And I'm really looking forward to these games going forward. We might have
lost him. Yeah. But hey, he can go bang on his drum all day. He doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to play football. He doesn't want to play playoff football. All he wants to do is bang on his drum. He can go do that. He was talking about how Caleb made maybe the best throw of his career on that 4th and 8 to Rome. I'm sure he could probably think of a couple other plays that were maybe in consideration for Caleb's best throw of his career. I know I can. But yeah, shout out TJ Hayes. Good guy. Integrity.
Yeah.
Way to show up.
If you want to be entertained, give him a follow on Twitter. He also records a show called I believe it's called the Intern Pod.
Yes, Intern
Pod. They give some good picks. I will say I went looking for some sort of bait, some receipts to pull on him for this episode while we had him. And I couldn't find any. And he actually, in his prediction for this Bears Packers matchup, he nailed it. I was genuinely I was upset that I couldn't find anything to get him pissed off and to laugh at. But yeah, I appreciate teacher coming on. Our first guest,
hopefully reoccurring guest.
Yeah, I think we'll have him on again in the future. Hopefully when he's at his setup, he's got a good.
Yeah, he's got a good setup.
It's hideous, but as far as setups go, it's functional.
Yes. We play Green Bay week 1 next year, I believe. So that could be a fun. Maybe we could do a preseason preview with Mr. Hayes.
Yeah, well, we don't know if we play them week 1. It's just very likely.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, schedule won't come out for a long time.
We might play him. We might play him in the first game of the NFL season, if you know what I'm saying. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. So if you've made it this far, 50 minutes into the episode, now we'll really break down. Yeah. First off, shout out you. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Now we'll really break down the game. You have anywhere you want to start, Smalley?
I think just I'll start just with this because it's kind of like an overarching thing. And TJ made a great point. It's really the only valid point left to make against Caleb, which is how can a guy who can make every throw seemingly miss so many gimmies? And, I think if you watch Bears football diligently, I don't think it's exactly like that. I don't think he's missing like true gimmies left and right. I think more to the credit of what you were saying, he's kind of hoping for the big play, and sometimes he avoids the easy ones and whatever. But I'm sure you saw the tweet that talked about the NBA's paradigm shift from wanting to shoot 40% from 3 versus 50% from 2. And when I saw that, it really just rang true, and it really gave me like even more confidence in Caleb going forward and kind of this offense going forward, because it's just a great analogy. And I wish I could hear TJ get his thoughts on that. But
yeah, he just Snapchatted me. So he appreciates us having him on. His phone is like tweaking out. But he said he's down to talk remaining playoffs tomorrow. He might do something on his own.
Maybe we should return the favor. Maybe we should
he might stream,
go to the intern pod.
And he said if we wanted to hop on.
That'd be awesome. I would be so down.
Tomorrow? Are you interested? I do have to go to the movies tomorrow, so it depends on the time. But
you're watching some Pong?
No, actually. It's a movie Emily wanted to see. It's called The Housemaid. It's
hopefully it's fire.
I've heard it's pretty good.
So you had mentioned earlier in the episode, like if by some way you haven't seen this Bears game, go and watch it. Well, you can, because the full thing is on YouTube. Shout out the NFL for posting the full broadcast, which is an awesome relic to have. But another way that we like to consume Bears football after they play is by watching the QB School break it down. So I got the pleasure of watching a 2-hour QB School video over the last couple of days, which usually when the QB School drops a 2-hour video about a Bears quarterback, it's brutal. He's tearing apart Justin Fields. This time he was praising him. But yeah, it just kind of gave me a good opportunity to go back through every play. And I think you'll have some good comments on some stuff. Just, in a game where so many factors matter, where so many blades of grass, like Ben Johnson said, matter, you got to highlight some of the unsung heroes and some of the little plays. And yeah, I just took some notes if we want to go through those. Starting with the perimeter screen to Luther that set up the game winner.
Yeah, so that's an awesome, very it's just, this is what I love most about football, is like the chess match that is always being played within the game. Bears came out, I think it was like a 3-by-1, 3 wide receivers out to the left side of the field, and a tight end up on the opposite side. And on what was the first or the second drive of the game, ran a little bunch screen to Luther Burden.
It was like the second play of the game, offensively.
Yeah, and then they come out, and the screen worked pretty well. The Packers had a ton of men in the box at the line of scrimmage, and they were outnumbered on the sidelines. It was like a 10 or 15-yard gain. It was great. And then you come out later in the game, fourth quarter, minute 43 left, down 3, sorry. Gotta have it, take the lead, win the biggest game of your franchise's career. I guess not franchise's career, but biggest game of your career as a head coach and as a quarterback. You come out in a similar look, but a little wrinkle. This time they come out bunch formation, 3 wide receivers down to the left, same 3 guys, tight end at the top of the screen. But typically you have your 5-0 lineman, got the center in the middle, and you got 2 guys either side of him. Typically you've got a guard and then a tackle, and a guard and then a tackle. What they did was they took the tackle from this side and they put him over here. So you've got guard, tackle, and then a guard. So it really sells that you are running the screen to the side with the extra tackle. And immediately after the snap, the tackle runs off into the direction of the screen, pretends like he's blocking. And in the tackle's place on this side, you have the tight end playing here. I hope this is a good indicator. I'm trying to make it as
it works. It
understandable for people who don't watch football. So the added wrinkle is put there to really, really sell that you are running the screen this time with an additional blocker. And it worked to perfection. DJ Moore runs up, engages ever so slightly with the corner who thinks that he is just a blocker. Caleb pump fakes down to the screen. DJ Moore runs free and is wide open on the sideline. Caleb hits him, touchdown. I mean, that was
game.
The story of the game. And it was game. They scored a little quick,
which is scary. A good problem to have.
A good problem to have.
It's a privileged problem.
But yeah, that it was just what a way to redeem yourself. I mean, if you lose the game, so much of this story of the plays that made this game great are lost in the weeds of it being a loss and like what mistakes you made in such a cold start in the first half. But I'm so glad they won because you really get to appreciate all of what makes this team fun and what makes the future so bright for Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams.
Yes, sir. Moving on, first fourth down of the game happened on the second drive. Caleb found DJ, and the reason that he was able to, first of all, not an easy read. Second of all, two Packers defenders ran at Colston Loveland, ran at 4th and Loveland. So
this
the gravity of the young man is pretty dope.
4th and 7 on the second drive.
I think it was
first drive. I think
it was on the second drive. It was 4th and 2 when he found DJ for like 18 yards.
Yeah. I think
Loveland ran a little stop route, like a little turnaround.
Yes. And DJ just, I mean, they're lined up in a bunch formation on the left side. It's man coverage. One of them comes in motion. I don't know if it's Loveland or DJ, but one of them's running a hitch. One of them's running a crosser. Loveland runs the hitch, and Caleb is looking in the direction of all three. So a defender, if you're looking at the quarterback's eyes, like you don't really know who exactly he's going to be looking at.
But you can.
If you're the Packers, if you're any player who has to defend this Bears offense, and you've seen what Colston Loveland has been able to do this entire season, and even what he had done in this game, but to that point in the game on the second drive, he hadn't done much yet. But the Packers see Caleb looking anywhere in Loveland's direction and immediately bite on it because he's running the hitch right at the first down line. DJ's able to sneak right in behind and just is wide open. Again, I can't stress enough why this is what makes the Bears so not even so good right now, but so exciting, because this is stuff that is so hard to defend from a schematic standpoint. As few good players there are in the NFL, there are even fewer good coaches, and the Bears have one of them.
I mean, when you're firing John Harbaugh, when Mike Tomlin's leaving, and when LaFleur's on the hot seat, like, you really have to realize how rare it is to have a surefire head coach.
Yes, and the standard for coaching has completely changed, because you can no longer be a great head coach in the NFL without having your hands on the offense in some form or another. Because if you are dependent on an offensive coordinator to make your offense great, that offensive coordinator will not be there long. You saw it in Detroit. And luckily for Detroit, Dan Campbell, also an excellent play caller, and gets to keep a lot of the stuff that him and Ben Johnson built together. I obviously can't give Ben all the credit as good as he's been. Like Dan, like Campbell had clearly has influence and will have success there, because their offense was pretty excellent this year. But
absolutely,
the standard just flipped. You need to be not only a great coach, but a great offensive mind. And the Bears have one of the best in the NFL right now. It is incredible.
Yep. We had the Luther interception where he should have run a dig, and he kind of didn't seem like he totally knew what he was doing. Shout out to Luther for touching the defender down, and shout out to the defender for picking it off. They ended up scoring on that drive, but still just gotta love a boneheaded play from the Packers. Not much to say on that one though, right?
Yeah, no, it's just miscommunication. They couldn't get the play out.
Love seeing Caleb on the sideline though.
Yes, yeah, that is stuff that it's the playoffs. You can't do that. You have to be like, you want to continue to win games in the playoffs, you have to be better.
Gotta be better. Next thing, there wasn't so much to highlight in this first half, as I'm sure you guys know. But moving on. This was in the second half, I guess, judging by the score. But Luther fucking Burden doing the Darth Vader choke to Keyshawn Nixon while down 21-6 is unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
It's so ballsy. It's so ballsy, and like he's so about it. I don't know if you saw his post game locker room interview, but he was just talking about like if I saw my teammates running, like I'm there, like just blindly, like no matter what, he's gonna have your back. Like there are fewer people I'd want to go to war with more than Luther Burden, and it just says so much about the team's culture.
Absolutely. He's got some of the best. Now I don't know who came up with the first down Sally, but him using like crawling on the floor with his fists, him doing the Vader choke, like he's got some of the funniest, coolest, most aura unctuous celebrations in NFL history. But yeah, two or three plays after that was when Keyshawn Nixon decided to do a DeMarco Jackson and jump on the pile for no reason. I think it was DeMarco Jackson, right?
Yeah, it was DeMarco Jackson in the first.
And then he got a nice little 15-yard penalty for us, so shout out to him. Later on in that drive, though, was the interception intended for Kmet. So on that play, DJ Moore and Colson Loveland slip. So it's kind of hard to judge the play call because literally the number one and number two option on that play slip, which we could go back to a New Year's resolution, which we asked about. Can we get fucking good grass in this field? Why are our home players slipping so much?
Yeah.
So frustrating.
I do have something I want to add. We talked about that already. First off, I want to say, if we're in that position again, run the damn football. Run the ball. You need a yard.
Don't snap it over your
guy's head. Yeah. Line up under center, run the damn ball.
I think that message is clear at this point, by the way.
Yes. I will say, because it's happened 3 times now where we've been in a position in the red zone where it's 4th and short and we're in the opponent's territory. I don't think in the Eagles game we were in the red zone. But Ben Johnson has a tendency to, rather than go for the 1 yard, go for the kill shot or go for the end zone.
Exactly. Yes.
Which
I like that when you're at the 40-yard line.
Yeah. But when you're
less expected.
Yeah. Just get a yard. Just get a yard. The Eagles game, it worked. The Packers game, it almost worked, but you didn't have the depth to lead Cole Kmet so that the safety could catch you. So again, factor that in. Like, hey, maybe I just want the 2 yards and then I can get the touchdown afterwards. The same goes here. Loveland and DJ were at or near the goal line. Or at least their routes were supposed to be. When you only need a yard, just get a yard. Run the football.
And
get a yard.
Also, I will say on that play, shout out to Cole Kmet for making that tackle, because if he didn't, it would have been at least 20 more yards, maybe a house call. It was like a bigger boy who picked it off, so it wouldn't have been a house call. But he had no one in front of him other than Caleb and 3 blockers. So shout out to Kmet for dragging him down. But yeah, Jordan Burroughs, one of the best wrestlers of all time. He pretty much had one move. He had a double leg. Nobody could stop it. If you have that move, if you can run the ball as well as the Bears can, fucking let's do it. Make them stop it. If they stuff us on 4th and 1, good for you. It's not going to happen every time. You know what I mean? So yeah. After that, very unsung hero of the game, as I'm sure everyone's seen on social media for a different reason. But Ozzy he took kind of an L on that 3rd and 10 when Caleb fumbled, but he jumped on that ball and he made sure to possess it. And then he slammed the ground. He's like, fuck, I'm mad at myself. Love seeing that.
I forgot about that play, to be completely honest. There's so much.
Many plays.
I'm glad you've written this stuff down, because there's a lot that clearly I just don't remember happening. Caleb, I think, could have picked it up and maybe made a play. And it's a damn shame that Ozzy Jabrilo's hurt, because his development has been like so good to watch. He was the highest graded lineman in this game.
Dude, he was
when it happened, I was not aware of how devastating patella tendon injuries are.
Oh yeah, dude. It's
because we were sort of talking about like he had to work on his mobility in his game. And with this type of injury, like there's going to be a lot of focus on that. But it looks like the return from patella tendon injuries are typically long,
6 to 12 months, airing towards 12.
Yeah, and production typically falls off quite a bit. So it looks like the Bears will be in the market for another left tackle, which sucks because Ozzie was really
drafting
into his own.
A second round left tackle that's a future, I don't want to say like Hall of Fame or anything, but a future starter is just like, that's so nice. And that's such a nice addition to this draft class. And that sucks.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's a part of the game, like our good boy TJ was saying. But yeah, Ozzie will always be a Bears legend. We will not let his name get forgotten. Caleb, this was, I forget which drive this was on, but you'll remember it. It was the first play of the drive. Scrambled outright, head first dive, picked up the first down on a 1st and 10. Just a really nice play from Caleb.
Was that the one where he had like 20 seconds to throw and then elected to run? Yeah.
Yeah, he ran around everybody. Also, Darnell Wright had an insane pass pro rep.
Oh, he had his guy just absolutely in jail. There were a couple guys in that play who I feel like Caleb could have thrown the ball to. I don't hate it because like I think when you're Caleb in that scenario, and you're looking to create, there obviously is like a fine line between holding it too long and not, and like where you can turn things into a positive play. The protection was so good on that play that I don't hate the idea of passing up on sort of the easy balls and looking for something more home run-esque. And that's stuff that like you kind of just, as you play more and more football, you get a better feel for.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, you hope that as his game develops, he realizes that like scrambling, getting hit, running, all things that like shorten your career that you want to minimize and only use when you have to. So like you'd like him to throw the ball. However, excellent rep from the O-line. And at the end of the day, a positive play from Caleb.
Yeah, that the pendulum swings. When he was in college, he would never throw the ball anywhere but 40 yards down the field. Obviously, a little bit of an exaggeration, but he was Superman every play. And then he comes into the NFL with between Eberflus and kind of reining him back in from Eberflus. It was kind of like we had mentioned this a lot. Like you got to put the cape away for a little bit, learn how to be Clark Kent, then go back to being Superman. Now it seems like the pendulum is swinging a little bit more towards Superman, and it's like, okay, well, let's realize when it's better to be Clark Kent than Superman, and then we can put it all together eventually. And so, you know, we'll figure it out. But yeah, he's got to figure out when it's better to get 6 yards than 0, and he will. I have full confidence that he will. But yeah, another thing about that slide was earlier in the game, he slid feet first on a 3rd down, and like he probably could have tried to go head first. But A, he knows that at that point of the game, he didn't need it as much. He knew that B, we could get it on 4th down, and C, he's not Jackson Dart. And he's not going to, end his career short. So shout out to Caleb. Mm-hmm. Smart. That's the Swift TD, the Swift touchdown. Now I hated on DeAndre last week. He made the safety miss on that play. Great for DeAndre. That was a great rep, but that was one of the best reps I've seen from the team all year. Loveland had a fucking great block, and Darnell had just he came off a double team and then just took a linebacker completely out of the play. Like, yes, DeAndre made an awesome move on the safety, on one of the safeties, because Keyshawn did not want any contact on that play. But as far as like a play being called and executed to perfection, I think it's up there. So that was really, really good to see. Monangai catch where he caught it and ran for 20 yards. Now, you had mentioned earlier about going to war. Who sprung him on that?
I was Luther.
Your boy Luther.
For a guy who's not like particularly big, to have the awareness to know like I need to make a block, like I need to find the nearest guy to me and just hit him. It's awesome. It's the mentality that's just like representative of this team. I know that when the Bears go to watch film, Antoine Randall in that wide receiver room is patting Luther on the back, because that rep is just like, it's everything you want out of your wide receivers. I really like that play, and it was huge. That was on one of the scoring drives in the 4th quarter. You got it. You had to have it. I think it was 3rd down. So
maybe I think it was 2nd down, but it might have been 3rd down. It was a nice play. That was like 22 yards. Also for a guy who hasn't been awesome in the pass game this year in Monangai. Way to catch the ball, way to get upfield, way to, play your style of football. He does need to work a little bit about getting out of the backfield because sometimes he kind of lingers and blocks people that he doesn't really need to, or chip people that doesn't really need to. And then there's no check down option for Caleb. So I'm sure that'll be worked on. We got a great running backs coach. But another guy that struggled with drops this year, previously mentioned in this episode, who caught the ball for a touchdown, Olamide Zaccheaus. Way to not sell it. It's not easy to go out there and catch a rifle.
Touchdown dance. A little premature.
We're not going to talk about it.
A little premature.
That was crazy, bro.
However, is he so confident in Caleb Williams that he's like, I'm going to dance?
Maybe, bro. But yeah, that was kind of insane. But yeah, no, shout out Olamide, a guy who has, definitely he's taken a beating from Bears press and probably from Bears fans, but he's done a job this year. He's been at points a safety blanket, at times a veteran, and he plays a role in this team. Shout out to him. Also, you talked in length about the screen earlier. I'm sure you could do the same about that 2-point play because that was so sweet. That was so sweet.
So when they came out,
and we had talked about this on the podcast. We talked about how 13 personnel with Loveland is going to be a bitch for y'all. We had talked about this. And I think it was 14 personnel low key.
It was I think we had Theo Benedict came in and it was 3 tight ends. It was so Theo Benedict comes in. It really reads heavy set. You're pounding the rock. Durham Smythe is at fullback. You've got Cole Kmet on the right side. Monangai in the backfield, I want to say it was.
Yep. It was a Monangai draft.
So as I remember, as soon as they scored, seeing like the coaches all go like this, and I mean, you can watch the clip, and you can like see me in the back going heavy set, and they come out in it, and I'm like, all right, this is what I want. Like, you got to pound the rock, and they came out in a very heavy box defensively, and then they shift out to shotgun, and they pulled a milk check. They pulled a milk check.
Milk.
If you don't know what a milk check is, it's basically if there's a white defender on the field, like, you go at that player. You go at
especially
the white
if he
player.
hasn't played any defensive snaps this year.
That was he's like literally done nothing for Green Bay the entire year, and then has to go out and defend Colson Loveland on a 2-point conversion. Like, it was just one-on-one against their fourth string linebacker. Bears pulled out the milk check, and Colson Loveland. I every week I'm like, I feel like he makes me feel like such an idiot for ever doubting him. He gets better and better every week. If Caleb was not the MVP of this game, Colson Loveland was. That 2-point conversion was, I mean, the trust that you have in your rookie tight end, 21 years old, to say, we need 2 points here to make this a 3-point game. You need to go out on the goal line, and it's one-on-one. It's you versus him.
Get open.
Yes. Get open, run to the pylon. Caleb's going to put the ball where it needs to be. Excellent throw, by the way, but for
anticipation.
Yeah. I'm playing with like a silica gel packet right now, and it broke open and one fell on the floor. So I
don't gotta get yourself some putty.
I don't want to drop it. I'm just going to eat it. Yeah. What a catch. What a route. For him to get his feet down, to secure the ball. It's just like, not only is it good by like a 21-year-old standards, but it's good by any pass catcher standards. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
To play the way he does, to get his feet down, and to do it at 6'6", 220, whatever he is. It's insane. He is. I mean, he's the best tight end in the playoffs right now, easily. He's a top 3 tight end in the NFL, and the only guys I think you could say are better than him or are playing better football are Trey McBride and Tucker Kraft. Those are the only dudes you can make an argument.
Okay, so I'd wrote is not a word, but I wrote a quick question where I was just like, would you trade Loveland for Warren?
Absolutely not. Now,
and at some point this year, some people maybe would have said yes.
Now I have both of them in my dynasty league, which is shaping up to be the greatest dynasty team of all time. No shade to Warren, but like now you can talk about who's playing the best football at the tight end position this year, and you could name a couple guys, but you talk about who you want to have on your team. I don't think anyone is taking anybody other than Colston Loveland. You could argue Brock Bowers, but even Loveland is playing at an exceptionally high level and is younger and has less of a, I guess, injury history in the NFL, at least, because Brock.
I wrote 3 guys in terms of trading, and it was Warren was like the easy yes. McBride was like the I don't know, but like low key I would because of age and because they're the same player. And then the best Bowers. Like Bowers is a little bit different of a weapon than Loveland, just in terms of like his speed and just I guess we haven't totally seen everything that Colston can do with the ball in his hands, which is funny to say because he has maybe our longest play of the year, other than Luther. But like all 3 of them are valid questions. Like I don't know if I'd trade Bro for anybody. It's pretty fire to say. I think like you would really, really struggle to find anybody who's not a delusional Packers fan that at the end of this season will not have Colston Loveland in their top 5. And that's not even like projection wise. That's just like right now, give me one of these guys for one season, for one game, for one play. Shout out to Colston. 2-point play was sweet. Okay, so then moving on. Final drive of the game, which we can talk about a lot, but there was the play to Loveland up the sideline. Caleb extended a bunch, and then he kind of did one of his signature moves that hasn't been done in a little bit, where he scrambles out and runs like semi full speed to the sideline. But then when he gets to the sideline, he doesn't panic. He like sits there and waits. Mm-hmm. And
I know what you're talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Right? He threw it high to Loveland.
Threw it a little bit high to Loveland, who got a paw on it, but just like a guy like Caleb in that situation, he had just taken that kind of like funny ankle, whatever. He was still kind of recovering from that or whatever. And he stands there and takes a massive hit from the biggest Packer on the field, who puts all of his weight into him. It tells you what you need to know about the guy. And, for a guy whose character has been questioned so unfairly by so many people, it's just like, it's so vindicating. It's so awesome to see. We love 18. So that was the point of that one. And then speaking of another very similar situation, I think it might have been on that play was where Ozzy tore his patella, and then he had to hop off. What is that? Is that a silica?
Super underwhelming. I'm pouring the silica gel pack into my empty Coke can.
Not bad. Speaking of an empty Coke can,
you hear it?
I can hear it. It's semi-satisfying.
There's like one more in here, and I can't get it out. Oh. This riveting podcasting.
This is good stuff. But yeah, that's a 1 Coke can, or as some others know it, half of a Matt Khalil. Moving on. So yeah, Ozzy hopping off the field with one of the more painful and gruesome injuries that you can have in sports. What does that tell you about this team? It tells me something, because there's 2 kind of situations where I could see that making sense. Situation 1 is you are so afraid of what's going to happen to you if you don't do that you are like, fuck, I better do it. That's more of like a militaristic view, or, kind of maybe even like a Nick Saban view. Certain guys lead with an iron fist and you just don't want to let them down. I'm not saying Ben Johnson isn't that. I'm saying I think the reason that Bro hopped off the field is because he has so much damn love for this organization and this team. And that's what it seemed like. So take it if you take it or leave it, but that's my take on that.
Yeah, I think there are so many things this team does outside of the whatever 4 to 10 seconds that a play takes. There are so many things that this team does outside of those seconds that are tendencies of a championship football team And that is one of them. And they put them on display like frequently, which is why I'm such a believer in this team. And I think that people who are not Bears fans, who don't watch the games like we do, or even just like casual Bears fans, who are not believers because all they see is this like the scoreboard, and that the Bears are losing until they're not. But there's a reason for that, and the reason is they don't waver. And they don't make stupid mistakes most of the time.
Yeah, pretty much ever.
And when they can help their team, they do whatever it is, to do that. And even when it's after your patella tendon ruptures,
bursts. Yeah, it's
I can't speak highly enough of Ozzy Trapilo and his season and that play in particular.
Yep.
Get well soon, my friend.
And then a moment of deja vu all over again. If we remember back to the unbelievable play where Caleb found DJ for the 50-yard walk-off touchdown. I want to say it was on that drive, but it might have been slightly earlier in the game. But DJ was running back to the line of scrimmage. Couldn't get set in time, cost the team 5 yards. It was pretty inexcusable.
That was before we scored the touchdown
to send it to overtime.
Walker. That was before we had even gone to overtime. Yeah.
So that was kind of a moment where you were like, the DJ haters were loud, and it was kind of like, dude, really in this moment you can't come through for us. You can't give us the effort. And then on the last drive of the game, Caleb scrambles out right. He's looking upfield as he always does, and he finds your boy too, hits him in stride, perfect pass, tries to catch it like this, which
with his body,
but it slips through his hands.
Even on the game-winning touchdown, caught it with his body.
It's true. Well, he said he lost that one in the lights, but once again, he reminds you of why he might be a Raider next year, but then he also reminds you of why we love him so much, and he came through. So shout out to DJ for yet again doing the nearly instantaneous redemption. Love that. And I mean, we could talk a little bit more about just, I guess, the last play. You kind of already mentioned all of the stuff schematically, but just as a fan, like if you're watching this, just go back to the moment when DJ caught that touchdown. Maybe, you were hyper cynical and you were thinking, damn, we scored with too much time left. But when's the last time that you just truly like lost your mind as a fan for this team? Like, I think that might be for me, like the last time that I was truly just unconscious, hugging anybody around me, just like soaking in the moment, just really, I'm replaying it in my head right now and it's vivid. Like it is absolutely vivid.
I genuinely almost blacked out.
Great moment. Like, yes.
I jumped out of my chair and I've never like so quick, like, sometimes you stand up and like, you're like, shit, I got to sit down. I stood up too quick.
Mm-hmm.
I've never like stood up too quick and then like started to feel everything go, like my legs started to go out from under me. And I'm like, I stumbled over a little bit. I will say this might be a hot take. I was way more excited after the week 16 one because after the touchdown in overtime, like it was over. I knew it was over.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like, it was nothing but elation. I was still like, the game is not over. Like the defense needs to show up.
Yeah, so I agree. There was a coming back to earth moment with it, but just in terms of like that actual like 5-second moment where it was like, oh my God, he caught it. Oh my God, we have more points than them. Like for me, it was just like, it was almost like I didn't believe it. Like, I don't know. I think with the DJ walk-off touchdown, like that was so awesome for so many reasons. Up there with favorite sports plays of all time. But the stakes just weren't the same. I think that's kind of what it was. Like going into that game, I think that, like throughout that game, I guess, I kind of always thought like, we got a chance, even when it was, looking real bleak. Like I don't know if I ever truly gave up. Maybe I did. But in this game, I was pretty much dead at certain points. And so for us to really come back, it was just like, it was an unbelievable moment. I'm never gonna forget it. Shout out Johnny Gianaris, Chad Wilson, big hug right when that happened. That was awesome.
Yeah, future guests on the show.
But then and then we haven't talked pretty much at all about the defense, but when they needed to, shout out to them. Minute 48 left. The Packers had a timeout. They couldn't have given up a touchdown. They can't give up a touchdown, right? And they didn't. So shout out to them. I didn't have too many notes on that final drive. It felt kind of like a blur. It felt like every single play was like the last play of the game, and every single play was like trying to kill me. But I will say, yeah. I was
breaking text. News? Breaking text from Graham's mom in the group chat with me, Graham, and Graham's mom. Bears fourth quarter comeback made streaming history on Amazon Prime. 31.6 million viewers. This was the most streamed game in NFL history. Wow. So the Bears had like
sports history.
One of the most watched games ever in the Prime Video, the Black Friday game versus the Eagles, which was broadcast worldwide.
That used to be lost.
And then they had the most streamed game ever against the Packers. Pretty awesome.
That if anybody was watching our games, that we were going to lose. Now I don't know. But yeah, I will say, we love to give some sort of unfair criticism to Jordan Love. He did play a great game, 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers. It wasn't flawless, right? But you can call it unfair for calling him a choke artist, but out of a timeout, are you taking? Or I guess maybe this was the previous.
Yeah, they got the
when they took the delay of game out of a timeout that made, and then on 3rd and 15 didn't pick up a single yard to make the 44-yard field goal stay a 44-yard field goal. That's really bad.
That's the 12th really man. Bad. That's you. That's you at home. That's you at home. That's the 12th man. That's the 4th phase. They were loud. The stadium was literally shaking.
Yeah, I mean that's really bad.
It had an impact. That's like one of the very few times have I seen the crowd in Chicago like have a genuine impact on the game, and it happened on multiple occasions when they absolutely needed it. It was cool to see.
Absolutely.
And also, have we not yet talked about 4th and 8? Like I think we brought it up, but like
we brought it up a little bit. But yeah, let me mention one more thing, and then we'll do a little bit on that. I just wanted to say that, and I think you agree with this. This is like supposed to be sort of inflammatory, but Malik Willis is closer to Jordan Love than Jordan Love is to Caleb Williams. Oh, you're hearing it first.
That is now this is it's less of a knock on Jordan Love than you think it is, because like Jordan Love
right. No, that's true. There's a lot of layers to this.
It's more so that like all 3 are very good and Caleb is the best, but Malik Willis is really good. And unfortunately, I think he's like really good because he gets to play with Matt LaFleur, and I don't know if like where he goes next he'll have the same success. But if Malik Willis is the quarterback of the Packers going forwards, like if I was a Packers fan, I would be not too bad about it. Now, Jordan Love is good, but Malik Willis is not that much worse, and Caleb Williams is really good.
So the other thing too, I don't know if you are on Packers social media or if you just see this brought up all the time, because Packers fans bring it up all the time. But do you know how old Bart Starr was when he won his first Super Bowl?
Oh, you're talking about the 27? How old is Malik Willis next year?
I mean, come on. I mean, your boy Jordan didn't do it, so I don't know. Jordan's 28 next year.
That's hilarious. That's got to find Packers Twitter if it hasn't already.
But yeah, I love that.
That's actually so good. That's pretty good.
And then we mentioned it with. Oh yeah, I forgot something else. So after Loveland. He didn't drop it, but after the play where Caleb got rocked and he threw it up the sideline to Loveland, Christian Watson is on the sideline and he goes like,
"Well, he's in a box."
Yeah, which is like, bro, what are you talking about? It was wide open.
Hilarious.
That is
hilarious.
It's so great.
Talking all that talk.
They want Rodgers ends his career with a pick 6.
Yeah,
that's your throw was a pick 6. So from that moment to this moment, that's when the Packers had it, but now it's us.
That's true. It really did feel like a closing of the book this weekend, as far as this literal hell. Like I'm not like can't literal like trials and tribulations. That's what it's just what we've been doing.
Humiliation routine, fucking Guantanamo Bay torture, literal bullshit that we've been dealing with.
It's
I mean, it's
over.
Bears fashion. It's Bears fashion. If they're gonna make a loss that has no right being painful, the most painful loss of your life, then they have the same right to do it with their wins and make them, you know, the best wins of your life, I guess. Maybe we just only live on the polar extremes.
Yeah. I remember watching, and as we were mounting the comeback, like being angry because I didn't want to feel any hope and then have it ripped out of my hands. Like that's how much this team has hurt me before, is that I was just like, if it's going to be bad, just let it be a blowout. Like I don't want to feel like we ever had a chance to win the game. And then we won. And it really now, like I think about it, and I think about next week against the Rams. And I feel a sense of calm that I've never really felt about the Bears going into a big game.
Me too.
And that wasn't until like we won the Eagles game and we won the Packers game.
That was our
and
Super
the Niners
Bowl.
game. We almost won, but we still lost. Which I mean, all of these games, they were our Super Bowls. Like
that was our
the Commanders game was our first Super Bowl. And then the second Vikings game was our other Super Bowl. And then the Eagles game was another Super Bowl. The Steelers game, according to Steelers fans, was our Super Bowl, which was so weird because
if Rodgers played, that would have been a little bit fair. But
yes, yeah. But yeah, it's really like the first big Bears game where I just like I feel confident that they're not going to hurt me anymore. That regardless of how it ends. Regardless of what the scoreboard says when there's zeros, like I'll be happy that this team like went out there and played their damnedest and gave the opponent hell.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for Sunday.
Yeah. An analogy that I kind of came up with, and I'm not a big gamer. I don't know if you're not really a big gamer either. We play Madden.
I was in my day.
Yeah, I really liked Legend of Zelda when I was growing up, but basically, the analogy that I was kind of thinking of is like if you've ever had a really, really challenging boss fight in a video game, there's like times where you get the boss down to like one hit, or you're really close to beating the level, and then you lose the level, and you have this feeling
that's where you break your controller.
You get mad, but you kind of have this feeling of like once you get your better senses to yourself, you're like, you know what? Okay, like I know that I can beat the boss this time. But then you got to go and do the whole boss fight again. And it's just like, fuck, man. Like sometimes you don't want to do that. But dude, we beat the boss. We fucking beat the boss. And now we got the rest of this video game to play. And I'm fucking excited for it. So like that's the feeling that I kind of have. And then do you want to talk about a little bit of 4th and 8? Because 4th and 8 that used to be a fucking 4-letter word in this household.
I want to say I feel like I was one among the first people to at least post about it on Twitter. That play was also 4th and 8.
Something about 4th and 8.
Something about 4th and 8. In a season that has been about righting wrongs and exercising the demons, you literally cannot write this shit.
Yeah, bro.
You go.
Why was it 4th and 8 too? Because it was 4th and 3. And then it was almost 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Packers because fucking Drew Dahlman snapped the ball 25 feet over Caleb's head. Best false start in NFL right there.
Yeah, but a season where you went to Washington a year after losing on a Hail Mary. And this was with this is a Washington team with Jaden Daniels. So you went to Washington, exercised the demons there, won in an awesome fashion. You went to Philly, a place where you don't play well, and obviously had that heartbreaking playoff loss. And had they won on Sunday, we would be playing them this weekend. And imagine the stories.
See, I would have been nervous for that.
I would have been nervous. I would have been very nervous. You go to Philly and you win. You go to Green Bay and you lose, and then 2 weeks later you win in dramatic fashion, and then you get the chance to do it again. And it's just like the greatest game ever. You convert on 4th and 8, which in 2013, week 18, Rodgers to Cobb, 4th and 8, ended the Bears season. It really doesn't. It really doesn't get better. I mean, I just don't know.
We had a nice dessert too of just Aaron Rodgers sucking balls in his game. That was pretty fun.
I mean, yeah, I still I'll root for Pittsburgh, so it was a little bit like bittersweet, but it was nice to know that Rodgers. I've been saying for a very long time that Pittsburgh needs to be bad. Like this was always going to be like they're
too good at being bad that they need to be actually.
They need to be very bad. Yeah, they're just in purgatory right now. So as much as like it'd have been cool for them to win a playoff game, Rodgers gone, 4th and 8. I mean, you recover an onside kick against the Packers in the first game, 18-point comeback in the other. It's just storybook. I mean, you beat the Steelers too. Rodgers didn't play, but like the bad man came to town. You took care of business.
You just flip it off the stadium.
It's unbelievable. I really don't. I don't have much else. It's just I cried a little bit. I shed some tears. As much as the guys in the stretch, as we're just Chief and Dave were embellishing it. I was not balling. I was crying a little bit.
He was balling. I've seen the videos. He was balling, guys.
It was a little bit. It's the first time in my lifetime. Like I don't remember the last Bears playoff win. I don't remember them beating Seattle. I remember them losing to Green Bay. I remember crying on the couch because we would have played the Steelers in the Super Bowl and we weren't. And my brother, who's probably watching this, was like just needling the fuck out of me. And I remember crying because of that. I remember 2013 being in Florida, and I'm pretty sure we watched with like the Bondaroviches. It was so random, but they were just like at the same hotel as us, and they were Packers fans. And 4th and 8 happened, and I cried again. And then 2018 at Joey's house, and Miss Ferroni was like, "He's probably gonna miss. Would it be so funny if he hit the upright?" And he did, and it sucked. And then all the years of just mediocrity in between then, and mediocrity is generous.
Very
to go from that to this, way ahead of when we ever expected it to. Means everything. It means everything. I'm trying my best to like soak it all in. I've been up late like every night, just scroll, like just like the opposite of doom scrolling, whatever that is.
Hope scrolling.
Literally just hope scrolling. All Bears content. It's the best. It's really the best.
No, like I think it was Big Cat who said this.
You have a finite amount of football games in your life.
Well, there's that, but no, this really rang true for me after Michigan finally exercised the demon of beating Ohio State for the first time. And he had said that like one of the best, like most enjoyable experiences of being a sports fan is when your team wins a big game and you can just spend the next day consuming as much slop as you possibly can. Just watching every pundit from fucking Stephen A. Smith to fucking Nick Wright to fucking Chris Brew to literally to Stallion X Sports, to anybody that you can find, and just I want to hear them talk about it. Oh, Rich Eisen has a video. I'll watch that. Like, it's just the best. And it's more or less the same every time. Like, they just, glaze your team. But it's just such an enjoyable experience. It's like, the Bears really haven't had any games that, like, I go back and watch and, like, get nervous about. This will be one of those games. Like, I remember when the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup against the Bruins, they scored the 2 goals in 17 seconds. Like, I would go back and watch that all the time, like that whole third period, and be like, damn, like what a moment. And I could still like get nervous about it. I'm like, oh, there's no way they're going to pull this out, even though I know they will. And like having that moment for the Bears not one, but two of them this year, at least that we'll return to several times, is great. Another thing, when I was at my not lowest in terms of Bears fandom, but a lot of times when the Bears were pissing me off, there's one video that I could come back to that would just put a smile on my face. And I know it's similar for you. And I watched it today for the first time in a good conscience. And that was just watching every one of Devin Hester's kick returns or special team returns. I'd never watched that video without it being prompted into my mind for a bad reason. And today I was like, you know what? I feel so good about the Bears right now. I'm going to go watch some Devin Hester returns. And it was a very enjoyable time. So yeah, it really is like storybook, righting the wrongs. Tides are turning. The poles have flipped. The iceberg has turned over. Time to enjoy it.
Yeah. I think we might have to record another episode ahead of the Rams game. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you want, we can record on Friday or something.
We can't go into any Rams prep at this point.
But I think it's like I'm still riding the wave of this game, which like I hope the Bears aren't doing. You can't. The Bears. I mean, I feel bad for them because they only get one day to celebrate the win, and then they're on to the next.
They do get an extra day of rest.
They do get an extra day of rest, but I'm gonna enjoy this one
until
as much as possible.
Game time.
So 5 minutes before game time. And that's really like I was doing that for this game. I literally like I went pee right before the game started. And I like was so nervous. And I was sitting there peeing, like staring at the wall at the urinal, just thinking to myself, like, enjoy it. That like just enjoy it. This could be the last time you get to watch the Bears play football this year. This has been the most enjoyable, the most fun, the most like it just the best season I've ever gotten to witness. And the future is bright. Like, just enjoy it. That's it. And I'm gonna do that this week. I'm gonna enjoy the fuck out of it.
Rightfully so, brother man.
It reminds me that before the season started, Graham, I asked you a question.
How many games are the Bears gonna win?
No. Well, I said 10, you said 9, and I was closer. But anyways, no, I asked you a question before the season started. I asked you, would you rather beat the Steelers? I'm sorry, actually, you asked me this. Shit.
Yeah, I asked you this question.
Yes, before the season started, you asked me a question. Would you rather beat the Steelers but lose to the Packers twice, or beat the Packers twice and lose to the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers? My response to that, Graham, why not both? Why not both?
¿Por qué no los dos?
¿Por qué no los dos? Why not both?
Yeah.
And
it could have been like the scenario plays out no matter what, because whoever wins that game would have beat the other one twice. So there was a point during the first Bears game when we needed a fucking onside kick where in the back of my mind, I was like, this fucking Michael guy sacrificed our motherfucking 2 wins against the Packers, or 2 losses against the Packers for a damn win against Mason Rudolph. But it all works out for the better.
Yeah.
All works out for the better.
I will be going back through. I mean, I already went through after we beat the Packers the first time. And I went through some of the comments, was like, update. I will not only be making an edit, reposting with just like the beginning of that video, and then why not both? Like the commercial.
Fuck yes.
But I will be commenting on all of those people who hated it. Yeah, it's victory lap time, big time. I'm very excited to do that. I also do want to really quickly continue to toot my own horn, because we don't get to do it often. Don't get to do it often. And I want to read what my halftime thoughts were going into this game, because at halftime it was 21-3, and it was not looking good. And I just scrolled all the way down and then accidentally exited out, so I got to scroll again. I was tweeting that we shouldn't have worn those blue uniforms. I was tweeting fire Dennis Allen at halftime. I made Grok put clown makeup on him. Really,
Masterclass.
I mean, shameful stuff. But my halftime thoughts. Dennis Allen's refusal to adjust out of man coverage might kill Chicago. We've gotten torched in man by Green Bay and Detroit all season, which I saw today, we ran 41 or 44% of snaps in cover one zone this game. I don't know how much the splits were between the first and second half, but like we got pressure in the second half, so it sort of allowed you to do that. But again, Dennis Allen, not great. Kyler Gordon cannot leave the field. Second half, he did not. We were much better. He still got picked on because he's not 100%, but he is a million times better than Nick McLeod is in the slot. I like my point there.
Nick McLeod gave up a touchdown to Watson on the first.
Yeah. We need to execute on fourth down. The Bears cannot afford to punt for the rest of this game. The season relies on it.
They did not.
We did not punt. We did not punt the entire game.
We did throw one pick, but yeah.
We did throw one pick, but that was in the first half. I think the second half.
The second half, yeah. The one to come at.
Yeah. But did not punt, and we were better on fourth down. We were 1 for 5 in the first half or something. I think we were 2 for 3 or 1 for 2 in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So better. Not the best. I must have cut this out, but Caleb needs to put on the cape and be Superman. Regardless of how this game ends, the season is different. This team is different, and the future is bright. Potentially 30 minutes of Bears football left this season. Let's enjoy it. And
enjoy it.
Caleb put that cape on and enjoy what we did. I also did say earlier, this is what I was looking for. I thought this was part of it. Back to back 9+ play, 85+ yards from Green Bay. This was to start the game 14-3. Ben Johnson will be going for every fourth down from here on out. This defense is cooked. Ben Johnson, outside of whatever field goals he kicked, went for every fourth down. And I said Caleb needs to play the best football of his career for the Bears to win this game. But I still believe. That was at 8:03 p.m. It was 14-3 Packers. And I tell you what. You just got to believe. You just got to believe.
Fucking Ted Lasso.
Just got to believe. Yeah, Ben Johnson probably does have that Ted Lasso sign somewhere in Hallis Hall. Probably right above his door.
I don't know if he's a Ted Lasso guy.
Nah, he's definitely a Ted Lasso guy. I will ask him.
When
he's a guest on the pod, we'll ask him.
We will
eventually. Speaking it into existence.
He will be. He will be one day. Probably when he's retired because he's so busy, but one day he will be. But yeah, shout out.
You have anything else? I think I had some notes written, but I think yeah, I mean, I am still, we've sort of just covered this. I mean, I'm still getting used to being on this side of things. I'm not used to it. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
It ain't bad. Weather's
also, Cairo
okay.
Santos. Clutch.
Yeah, he deserved a game ball. Dude, he's low-key, like, I don't know. I mean, there's like 2 or 3 kickers that I would trade for him for the season that he's had this year. And there's been ups and downs, but like, there's been so many kicks where it's like, I don't care how far you can kick this ball. Not many guys can stroke that thing. You're stepping up in the Soldier Field winds when it's cold as fuck. You've been sitting on the sideline for the past hour and a half. You got to come in and just, money one for the season multiple times. Like, he gets his hate, and there's decent reason for it. But at this point, like, that's my kicker.
Yeah. So there were 4 first 4 wildcard games were decided by
other than the Chargers, yeah. The first 4
or one score, whatever, or first 5, I guess, if you include the Eagles.
First 4 games were decided by a combined 14 points.
Yeah. In those games, Brandon McManus, Packers kicker, 2 missed field goals, 1 missed PAT, left 7 points on the board. Green Bay lost by 4. Jacksonville missed a field goal. Cam Little cost him 3 points. Jacksonville lost by 3.
I think he's the
Eagles. Jake Elliott, who has the worst point after attempt percentage in playoff history, which is insane, hit the upright on a PAT. Philly lost by 4. Would have been a 3-point game. They ended up losing because of an interception in the red zone towards the end of the game where they would have been able to kick and tie it up. So yeah, Cairo might not have the deepest leg, but he's been money so far. Hit that 51-yarder that he hit was the longest in Bears postseason history. So
shout out.
I don't know how long he'll be on the team. I can't imagine they won't look for competition this offseason. But credit where credit's due. He's been incredibly clutch. Might not have the distance, but it's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see too how like Ben Johnson wants to play with it. I don't know ultimately who has more say in deciding whether or not to move on from a kicker between like him and Poles. But like, if we're going to be a very aggressive team on fourth down, which we will be, there is an argument to be made that we just want a guy who's going to make every single field goal that we give to him, and we're just not going to give him those long field goals. Because, you know, if you're kicking a 70-yard field goal and it's not with 2 seconds left in the half, A, no one ever does that. But B, you're going to give the opposing team the ball like on their, like on your 40-yard line. So like you really can't do that. Like that's basically a turnover. It's basically a block punt, whatever you want to look at it as. So yeah, maybe Cairo sticks around because he, like, I don't know, man. He's money when he's in his range. He's playing the wins. He's doing it all. Like,
yeah,
he's won me back. We might just need to invest in some sort of like kickoff specialist or something. But actually, he's been pretty good at that too.
Do you have anything to send us home? Desk item? I mean, we got an honorary one.
An honorary one? Was it?
It's what you got. The phone call. You get what?
Yeah. We already had that one as the desk item previously. We have a very special desk item actually. A desk item that will stay with me forever. It's right here. Shout out to Eddie's, where I watched the game. This is from the game, Eddie's water cup. Needed a couple of these. Holy shit. But yeah, this will be something that will like stay in my house forever. And like someone's gonna ask me, like, what's Eddie's? Like, dude, why do you have this random water cup? And I'm gonna be like, oh, let me tell you why I have this fucking water cup.
You got to write like the date. You got to write the date and the final score on the bottom of that thing.
On the yeah.
And that'll just be lore in your kitchen for the rest of your life. Your kids will use the Eddie's cup on game day. It's like when I come over and I use the Michigan.
Give me the Eddie's cup. Yeah, shout out to Michigan glasses. Those are good luck as well. But yeah, shout out to Eddie's. A very fine establishment. This is an Eddie's and a Johnny's Beef podcast. What can I say?
Yeah, I was eating Johnny's right before we started recording.
A little bit of a purple theme.
That's why it was a good episode. Last episode, I was hangry. I was really hungry.
This one you got your Johnny's.
This one I had my Johnny's. All right. We'll record another episode before the Rams game, right? Got to preview that game. It'll probably be a shorter episode because this one is the longest one we've done up to this point, for good reason. Hopefully next week a little bit of the same. We'll see.
Maybe
Bears
catch us on Rams. Maybe you can catch us on the what is it, the intern pod?
Yeah, over on TJ's side of things.
We'll see. We'll see how that shakes out. But I'd love to shout out to Matt LaFleur for being a part of the 2 greatest postseason collapses of all time, you could argue.
Yeah, we didn't even get to ask TJ about that. 28-3.
There's so many things I had for TJ.
21-3.
But it's all good. He'll be back. Yes.
All right, you want to sign us off, Smalley?
I do have one last thing. There was a very special guest at the Bears game and could be potentially the reason we won. But shout out to Dipshit Derek. Shout out to Chicago's own Dipshit Derek from Stranger Things. So many are saying the only good character, the only good thing to happen in the most recent season of Stranger Things. He was there, and this is like semi-joking, semi-not joking. He's actually a very good football player. Like I have good sources to say that he is a low-key stud football player because my mom teaches at the school that he attends. But yeah, he's kind of a stud. So shout out to him. Nice. Yep. Shout out delightful Derek. I'm calling him Derek, but you can call him dipshit all you want. I like a lot. Can't lie. Can't front. All right. If you made it this far, we really appreciate you watching. We'll
We'll see
If
you.
you made
We'll
it
see
this
you in a
far,
couple days.
meet me at Eddie's on Sunday.
Yeah. You know where small you'll be. We'll see. I'm not sure where I'll be Sunday yet, but maybe at Soldier. We'll see.
That'd be
All
sick.
right. We'll see you.